Today I want to talk about picking and choosing. It's a term I used to hear my mom use all the time growing up. And it's when a parent or a relative chooses to treat a child better than the rest, whatever. And of course, I went through that a lot growing up. A lot of people went through that a lot growing up. It wasn't necessarily with my parents, but you know how some relatives might treat one child better than the other, and not just with relatives. Step parents do it, and I feel like this: kids didn't ask to be here. So there's no reason why you should be treating one child better than the other. Like when parents do it, when mothers do it. Sometimes mothers might treat one child better than the other because they have different dads, or one dad really hurt them bad. So, or one child look just like the dad and you can't stand the dad. So you'll take your feelings or your anger or your hatred for the father out on the child. You chose that dude. Your child didn't ask to be here. So if you're doing that, stop. And it's not just mothers that do it, fathers do it too. Sometimes it's these dads that have different baby moms, and they might be going through something with one of the baby mamas, so they treat their child different from the other, or spend more time with one than the other. I understand if y'all living in separate homes and you can't spend as much time with one child as you do with the other, but it should be no picking and choosing. Like, it shouldn't be a situation where you're constantly doing for one child and the other one gets left out to dry just because you're not with the mom anymore. Or even situations like with step parents, it's no reason why a step parent should be treating their child better than your spouse's kids. If you're with somebody and they have children and you have children and you're treating your children better than your spouse's children, that's not right. And you really shouldn't even be in a relationship if you don't just know. Come on, it's common sense to treat that child, those children, just as good as you're treating your children. Then you don't even deserve to be with that woman or that man. You should be treating those kids, you should love those kids just as much as you love your spouse. Okay, so if anybody's doing it, that's wrong. You shouldn't be doing it, because then the kids grow up and they thinking, okay, this one is better than me, when really nobody's better than the other. Nobody in this world is better than anybody. We all make different choices. We all, our lives turn out to be, whatever our lives end up being is because of the choices that we made through life. But nobody's still better than the other. So please don't make your kids think, or make your stepchildren feel like, okay, one is better than the other, because then they start going at each other. It causes conflict between them. And you want a balance in your home. You want a balance. You want balance in your life. You don't want anybody thinking that you feel that way about them. Because would you want somebody doing it to you? No. So parents, if you're doing it to your kids, don't do that, because it really messes with your child's self-esteem. They start thinking that they're not good enough when they're more than good enough. They didn't ask to be here. So please treat your kids right, your spouse's kids right. For real though, because that's how a lot of stuff end up happening in this world, where kids are confused and they don't know who they are and they don't have an identity. A lot of times, of course, it starts at home and how you're being treated at home. Be blessed.